I am out in our bunny barn and I had started filming this yesterday and then I got interrupted, had to turn the camera off, and then I got busy working and forgot to turn the camera back on. So I do this about twice a year because the barn just gets real cluttered, and then of course you have to clean out the manure and stuff. And so I try to do this at least twice a year. And of course, if I have way more rabbits, then I have to do it, a third time in there. It just really depends on how many rabbits. So I'll take you around real quick to show you what I have done so far. And then the only thing I have left in here that I need to finish up today is actually just removing all of the manure. So this is what I call our bunny barn. So it was just a hutch at first, and then we decided it was just one side. And then we decided we were going to go ahead and do another side, and so that we can completely enclose it with a roof and doors. You can kind of see the doors. And out here, I had some rabbits out here. I had 3 because the barn was full. So when I had my grow outs, because we do meat rabbits, I had some of my grow outs out here and the rest were in the barn. So we've lost a few in the barn, so now I had enough room to move them all in. What I have now is, come in here, I have the rest of that litter. There's one in there. There's 1 buck left, 2 bucks, and then 3rd buck. Those are the 3 I moved in from outside. And then over here is their daddy. So that's a New Zealand white. And then mama was a Californian. So that's why you're seeing both colors for them. And then I'll come back to her in just a minute. And then this is the last buck of the litter. So we've got 4 bucks. 2 of them took after mom with the California coloring, and then 2 took after dad with the all white New Zealand. So this pretty little girl is going to be my breeder. I have not bred her yet, but we kind of had, as you noticed from one of my previous videos, that I had to take a step back in a lot of things. Well, this is another thing that I took a step back in, is I stopped breeding my rabbits so that we had less things to do. And my husband has gotten more stuff on his plate. So that was the other thing. I take care of the rabbits, but I can't do the butchering. That just doesn't work for me right now. And so I take care of them. I breed them. And my oldest son actually helps because he's the main one that feeds all the animals in the morning. And then I tuck them all in at night and make sure everybody's doing good. So maybe next year I will try to breed her. She's a silver fox, and we'll just see. I may have to just start over, and if that has to be, then that has to be. So yesterday, the part that I didn't video was cleaning all the cages out and getting these 3 in here, and then organizing. I have a whole bunch of stuff here that had to get organized. I just had thrown it in the middle because I didn't have very many cages open, because I only had 2 here, the first 2, which they got moved over here. That was my main breeding doe and buck. And then this guy has been in here. So I just moved the other 2 over there, because this one I can put these barriers, even though, yes, I know they don't go all the way across. But these guys have all been next to each other outside for a while. So I think they've pretty much got their you know, spraying each other issue is kind of mostly under control. But this way it gives them a break from each other. And that's why we built this side this way, was for the bucks, so that we could put a barrier in here, and that gives an extra space in between the cages. So we didn't think about that when we were designing or building these cages, so there's just a single wall in between them. So that's why I've given this little girl two of the nesting boxes, and I just put them on their side. She's not pregnant or anything. I only have those in there so that she has a place that she feels like she can get away from that buck that was suddenly very interested in her, and this buck that was also suddenly interested in her, because she's a new one for him over here. And since these two have been next to each other a lot before, but they had a bigger space in between their cages. So today's project, since I already got all of this stuff organized over here, I got my cage, and then I've got bins, and I've got more bins back there, and my gardening tools. I was pretty much done with my gardening stuff. And then so I've got my wood chips stacked in here. And now the last thing I need to do is clear out all the manure underneath all the cages, so that everything's cleared out and clean for the winter. And I try to do that about twice a year. So once in the fall before winter hits, because I don't want to have to do this in the winter when we've got, 4 feet of snow on the ground. And then I do it again in the spring or late spring, depending on how much is there. I usually just pay attention, because a lot of times if I have a doe that had babies, I have a whole lot more manure that kind of builds up suddenly. So let's get to work, get this barn cleaned up. Well, got it all done. Took me, it's like a week later before I was able to finish this, just because of how things went. But we got it done. So under here you can see, hopefully you can kind of see, it's really dark in here. Got all of that cleared out, and then over here is all cleared out. That's what I did today. So the other side was last week, and this is this week. We got it all done, got it all raked, cleaned up, and the bunnies are happy. This guy is. George is just chilling. Oh, buddy. I'm not gonna come over and get pets right now. All right, so this is just part of fall cleanup, and I'll do more as I can, and we might have like a part 2. Not sure how many parts we'll have. I'll just keep trying to show kind of what I do in the fall, and every year is just a little bit different too. So what I do this year may not be what I did next year or what I did last year, because it changes every single year here. And what I can get to changes every year too. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.